Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Hope you guys are having a great week. Today I'll be going over the two new ships from the collab, which are going to be 2B and A2. So let's get right into it. 2B SSR ship, light cruiser out. This purple is like so difficult to see in the background. I don't know about you guys, but I just can't see it. Stats at 120. We got 3981 health, 159 on the firepower, 371 anti-air, 184 on the reload, 108 on the evasion, light armor, 40 speed, 157 accuracy, 84 luck, 96 ASW, and 11 on the oil cost. So stat wise, it's on the like lower end of the spectrum. Firepower is like average, a little bit. It's about average. Health is a little bit low on the side because below the 4,000 threshold. Anti-air is okay. Reload is okay. But for a collab ship though, it's passable. I will say that. Gear efficiencies, we got 130 on the CL gun, 70 on the DD gun, and 110 on the anti-air. I think the DD gun is okay. So it's definitely like a, well, obviously because there's no torpedo stats, but it's a double DD, double guns, which means firepower related, gun oriented boat right here. And then we got the skills here. First skill, subjugation, frontline construct. At the start of the battle, generates a special barrier that absorbs damage equal to 100% of this character's current HP. That's really, really good. So if you're 4,000 HP, 4,000 shields right, that's kind of broken, no? Once per battle, if this shield is broken, activates a self-destruct sequence, dealing 100 damage to all enemies and immobilizing them for 3 seconds, but reducing this character's HP down to 1. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's actually a really cool mechanic, I'm not gonna lie. You can get really cheeky with that. But anyways, the next part, at the end of the battle, if the special barrier generated by this skill has not been broken, this character loses 80%, loses HP equal to 80% of the damage absorbed by the barrier during this time. So the next battle, most likely, it's not going to be 100%. Ah, that's the catch right there. So very good for one-time battles, very bad for multiple battles. I see. When this character fires her main guns, release a level 10 shockwave. Okay. So that's very interesting there. But we got the augmented version. Let's see if that changes anything up. So the augmented version, the first part stays the same, but the second part is different. At the end of the battle, it generates, okay, releases shock, absorbs. Okay, that part is the same. This part is different. When this character fires her main guns, releases a level 10 shockwave. When this character fires her main guns 10 times, performs a special melee attack as well. Alright. Interesting. More damage on top of the HP mechanic. That's cool. And then Faith. At the start of the battle, increase the ship's firepower by 8%. Every 15 seconds, scans the battlefield, marking all enemies as detected and reducing their evasion by 10% for 5 seconds. Once per battle, when the special barrier generated by subjugation frontline is destroyed, 80% chance to activate reset, restoring 20% of this character's max HP. That's good. If reset fails, if it fails to activate after 5 seconds, restores 20% of this max HP. Okay, so instead of instantly, it's later on. So there is a chance of sinking. That's very, very that's risky right there, honestly. I mean, you can build a full team of healers if you guys want to, but that first mechanic is very good. It's definitely good for bossing, not so much for multiple fights, because by the time you get to your 5th fight, you're probably gonna be like sub 20% HP, which is very, very scary. But if you stack HP, and this is a character you kind of want to stack HP on, it could be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely an HP stacker. You might want to run some heals as well too in the fleet. Maybe like one Vanguard healer, one backline healer. Because she's going to be very, very low HP, and it might be kind of scary at times. Oh, there's modifiers for this part as well, too. That's actually very nice. Alright, so here are damage modifiers for these barrages. Not bad. I gotta look at the other barrage as well, too, to compare, but kit-wise over here, this is interesting kit. I won't say it's bad. It's definitely interesting. Definitely leads to some fun, interesting setups. And then the barrage here, I think this like it's standard across the board. Like it's no different from like light and heavy armor. I will say that. But anyways, though, this is an interesting character. I like the mix-up. It's actually very, very cool for a mix-up, honestly. So props to them for making characters that can still be new in gimmicks in this time of age. And then A2, heavy cruiser, stats at 120. We got 4884 health, 282 firepower, 215 on the anti-air, 201 on the reload, 56 evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 132 accuracy, 73 luck, and 12 on the oil cost. So I would say this is like borderline average for heavy cruiser stats these days. Definitely not like a game breaker stat wise, but average, I would say. Definitely like, I think there's like Unzen level of HP right there, which is really good for SSR. I will say that. Efficiencies, we got 110 on the heavy cruiser gun, 70 on the DD gun, and then 110 on the anti-air. So I think the efficiencies on are on the lower end. Let's just bring up a random heavy cruiser right here. I don't know any relevant, or not relevant, recent ones. Sorry. Probably Prince Moritz. Yeah, she has way more. There's no way. So definitely on the lower end compared to modern day heavy cruisers these days. But efficiency isn't everything. Let's look at the kit. Devastating Cleave. When this ship fires her main guns, performs a level 10 slashing attack that inflicts armor break for 2 seconds. That's such a small interval. That's like basically nothing right there. But I like it though. When this character activates this special slash, for the second time, each battle enters Berserk mode. While in Berserk mode, this character loses 1% max HP every 2 seconds, but gains the following effects. Increase this ship's firepower and crit rate by 20%. Number 2, change the skill's special slashing attack to activate whenever this character fires her secondary guns instead of main guns. That's very, very good. And then lastly, Berserk mode lasts up to 40 seconds or until this character's HP falls to 0 as a result of damage taken. When Berserk mode ends, this character evades all attacks for 5 seconds and restores 10% of her max HP. Alright, you're going to need a lot of healers if you want to run 2B and A2 team. A lot of healers. They're going to drop below HP a lot. Like after the second battle, they're in the danger zone. So be careful. Definitely be careful using these guys. But if you run a very good healing setup, this could be a very fun setup. It's called keeping the androids alive. That's what we'll call this team comp, keeping the androids alive. And then the augmented version. Let's see here. So everything stays the same except, where's the change at? I think it's the first part. When this character fires her main guns 8 times, performs to, okay, so there's more barrages. Berserk mode lasts 40 seconds or until, this is the same, I think. It might just be number changes, I think, at this point. Like, I can't think of anything else. Let me just take a look real quick. Otherwise, there's more barrage damage, which is like, whatever. Yeah, I think it's just more barrage. Okay, well, you need a lot of healers, guys. You need healers. Vengeance. During battle, each time this character takes accumulated damage up to 5% of her max HP, increase her firepower and reload by 2%, stacks up to 4 times for 8% total. Each time this character defeats an enemy, restores 1% of this ship's max HP, up to 10 times per battle. So 10% heals, very nice. Increase her firepower and accuracy by 2%, stacks up to 5 times. So yeah, they basically want you to run a full healer routine that does no damage. A2 and 2B does all the damage. And then you're basically going to get like the slowest clears of all time in campaign or whatever. But these are fun ships though, I won't lie. These are very, very interesting ships. As for the barrages, across the board, very, very even. Special armor break, reduce speed by 30% and increase in firepower damage taken by 8% for 2 seconds. Okay. I mean, proc chance. Oh, never mind. So it's guaranteed right off the bat. Very interesting. Okay. So definitely A2 and 2B are firepower ships. You're going to do a lot of damage. You're probably going to run like 2 healers minimum to keep these girls up after the first battle. But I will say though, they're very interesting. Looks very interesting actually. Kind of want to play this out in the future someday. But are they game breaking though? No. But they are fun ships if you guys want to try them out. Anyways though, that's my quick run through of these ships. Thank you guys for watching as always. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.